everybody, Allie here. Today we're going to be making a fun candy treat bag for somebody special. Let's get started. Today we're going to be using the Monster Party stamp set and also the Hey Pumpkin stamp set, along with some fun colored inks and some fun colored cardstock. So to start our treat box, I have a piece of 12 by 6 cardstock, and this is just sandpaper colored cardstock, and we're going to use a variety of pumpkins from the Hey Pumpkin. I've just chosen 3, a couple of monsters, some candy shapes, and a little star from the Monster Party set. And I'm just going to use a variety of different colored inks and stamp all over this piece of paper. Now, for directionality's sake, if you want to keep everything right side up, half of it is going to be folded in half this way, so half is upright, so flip it over to do the other half to keep everything right side up. Okay, I'm going to do a few and then I will continue on. I'm going to start with our cute little pumpkin shapes here. And I'm just looking for a whimsical little pattern. And I'm going to clean off my stamps once I'm done here. So just a variety of our characters, our pumpkins, and whatever kind of floats your boat. So I'm just mixing up the colors just to make it extra cute. All right, I'm going to finish this up and we'll go on to the next step. And there we go, our panel is finished. I also brought in a lighter shade of purple just to match my future tag. All right, let's get to scoring and folding this piece of paper. So first of all, we're going to score this at, let's see, half is 6. So we want to score it at 5.5 and also 6.5. Okay. There we go. Then we're going to rotate it. And we're going to score down the side at 1/2 inch. And you're going to go down as far as possible. And 5.5 inches. And to get the other side, I'm just going to flip this and do again 1/2 inch and 5.5 inch. So that gives us a score line at this point, this point, this point, and this point. All right, let's do some die cutting for windows. All right, I've chosen just a simple rectangular die, and I'm going to send it through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to cut out this side. And there we go, a fresh, beautiful window. Okay, now we need to cover this window with a little piece of acetate. So we're going to trim out a piece of that. And we are going to attach it using some tape. So we've got our piece of acetate. We're going to flip it over to the back side. And we're going to use whatever you like as an adhesive. And I'm just going to wrap that adhesive around the edges of our cutout. There we go. And we're going to place that down and across that void. There we go. Give it a good press so it's nice and secure. And now our little box of candy is going to have a little window. Okay, let's fold this so it is ready to go here. So you want to fold and burnish all of your score lines. Just being careful not to fold it and score it where it doesn't need it. This is a little longer one, so give it a good press. go. Always make sure that you stamp your design all the way to the edges too, because that helps make with the look of continuous pattern paper. Now you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to snip just down these short 1/2-inch score lines here. So we need to do some overlapping adhesive. Okay, so this is what happens when you fold it up. So it's going to be fatter at the bottom. And I like to put this tab on the inside. And so it's going to be fatter at the bottom and thinner at the top. Okay? So now we're going to adhere this so that everything sits flat and well. I'm going to use some score tape, but you can use whatever kind of tape you wish. So working from this side, fold your tabs in, and you're going to put a little bit of adhesive on both sides of that tab. And try not to do it in the center. There we go. Okay, so that's going to take care of that. Then you want to take and add some adhesive. Pick one side. And just going to do some adhesive from about halfway up on both sides. I find that you don't need adhesive all the way to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to peel off all of your backing papers. I love score tape for this purpose because the backing tape comes off so beautifully. Okay, make sure you do that acetate before you do this, because otherwise it's a real bugger trying to get it in. So leaving those tabs in, you're going to fold and press, and fold and press, and then same for this. Again, you want to kind of bring in and bring that one with the tape in to meet your other one, and then you can press this down. Now you can't put a lot of candy in this due to the thinness of the little box, but that's okay. But you can fit actually a fair amount in here, I found. Okay, so let me just show you here. I have, these are Canadian candies, so Smarties. You can layer them up with some of your thinner ones. These ones are cute. Hershey's Fangs, how adorable. We have some Coffee Crisp, some more Smarties, Reese Peanut Butter Cup. These will all fit in this container, and just have to be a little persuasive to get them down into the corners. We have a little Kit Kat, and just fill it up to your liking. All right, and like I said, you can fit a fair amount of candy in here. Just find the smaller versions. There we go. We got some Reese's Pieces in for the top. And I'm going to call that done. All right. Now, we need a closure for the top of this. So I have die cut a shape that is the same width as our box. And I'm going to start by scoring this little fella. So I have my shape that is 5 inches wide, the same width as our little container. And I'm going to start by putting it into my scoreboard here. And I know the center, I'm just going to kind of center it so that I know where my center is. So between, let's go, between 2 and 5, it's 2.5. So I'm going to back off a little bit and score this at what'll kind of be 1 1/4 on this. And I'm only going to score one side, and I'll show you why. you want to make sure that this is folded and burnished. Okay. You're going to bring back your box, and the short side, so this is shorter than this one, is going to go to the back. Then, with your box full, you're going to kind of lay it flat and find the fat part of the box. And take your pencil and just kind of make a mark on the other side there. Okay? Take it back to your folding, your scoreboard, and I'm just going to butt that right in there. And by the looks of it, I'm going to say it's about an inch. Actually, it's a little less than an inch. It's more like 7/8. And I'm going to score it either 7/8 or 1 inch, whatever kind of floats your boat. It's right there. So again, I'm going to take and burnish that. And the only reason I say take it to your box and alter it in that manner is because it depends on how full your box is as to where you need to score that to make it kind of close. Okay. So I'm going to then take some adhesive on the back here. I'm going to erase my little pencil line before I'm unable to do that. And I'm going to be very generous with the amount of adhesive on this backer piece. Just because I want it to stay and stick. And I want it to stick good. So I'm going to put lots of happy adhesive on there. And then I'm going to line up that back score line with my cardstock. And of course, you have to be careful. Don't do what I just did. Okay. Let's move this out of the way. And let's place it right on top here. Let's see if I can do this without mucking it up too bad. I know my shape is the same size. There we go. That's a little better. And then of course you can just press it firmly. And there we go. Now, for closures, you could do any number of things. You could punch some holes through both pieces and tie a ribbon. But you know what? That's too fussy for me. So I'm going to make it really easy on myself. And I'm going to bring in my mini Velcro dots. Now you could also use thin sized magnets as well. They work really well. Just have to make sure that you get both sides of your Velcro here. So I'm just going to peel off one side. I'm going to put my soft side on the outside of the box. And then what you do is you peel and you stick the scratchy part and then stick it to the fuzzy part and then put it on top, and it will always go to the exact right spot. Voila. And these are so cute, and they're clear too. So excuse me. So next we're going to make a corresponding tag to put on the top, and we'll call this box finished. So we've got our eat, drink, and be scary sentiment here, and I'm just going to stamp it on the bottom of our little coordinating tag here. I'm going to use that dark purple ink again. There we go. I'm just going to have to stamp that one more time. Perfect. And then we're going to stamp out a monster, the same monster that we've already used. And we're going to fussy cut him out and color him up so that he matches everything on our card today. So we're going to stick this guy down, and we're going to use some white ink this time, or some white cardstock. And I don't know about you, but I always keep white scraps of cardstock, of my favorite cardstock, hanging around, so for just these purposes. All right, and you know what? So let's do him in that dark purple again, and then we'll Copic color him for our tag. There we go. All right, now to color him up, and we'll all be done. Okay, the tag is done, and I propped him up on some foam tape and put them all cattywampus on the tag. And now we need to attach our little tag to our candy box here. And you can do this in any number of ways. You could wrap your twine around the box and then not have it physically attached. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crocodile here and I'm going to use my smaller hole, and I'm just going to punch one little tiny hole, trying to get it kind of centered within that gap there. And let's see, we'll thread this through. I'm going to go once all the way through and wrap it around once fully. So I'm going to come back out the top. We're going to put it through the tag. There we go. I think I will wrap it once through the tag. come through. Okay. So I'm just going to pull this somewhat tight here. Kind of want it to dangle off the front of the box. Of course, we can finagle that a little bit more. And then I'm going to go through that last hole. Word to the wise, if you want to struggle less with this, put a piece of tape on the end of this. Make it like your shoelace with the, you know, the hard plastic end, and then it's much easier to thread. There we go. And then I'm just going to take this and just make a bow on the inside. Just because that's the way I can do it. And then of course you can write a little message to whomever your recipient is on the underside of your tag there. Just correcting my bow here. Trim off the excess. There we go. And the recipient could actually take that tag off if they wanted to. And there we go. Like I said, you just have to kind of play with it and find its happy place. And now you have a little treat to give to somebody special. I hope I've inspired you to make something fun today. Join me again soon. Have a great Halloween, guys.